Aloha, y'all. Lahaina Lee here. And today we're going to talk about something that shows up in your mailbox every spring and usually causes one of two reactions. Either you open the envelope and say, wow, my place is worth that much, or what the heck are these people smoking? It's Maui. Yes, we're talking about Maui property tax assessments, and specifically why condo owners may still see high assessed values in 2026, even though condo prices dropped in 2025. And the answer is actually pretty simple, but the system, the system is a little weird. Let's start with the market. First, let's look at what actually happened in the Maui condo market. In 2023, median prices increased 7.4%. Then in 2024, they went up again, another 8.3%. So if you owned a condo during that time, you were feeling pretty good. Your property value was going up, but there was one small side effect. Your property taxes were going up too, especially if you owned a short-term rental condo, because those tax rates are already pretty enthusiastic. Then in 2025, you gave a lot of that back. Actually, you gave all of it back. The median condo price dropped from about $900K in 2024 to roughly $693 by the end of 2025. That is about a 23% drop. So the bad news is a lot of owners lost a lot of equity on paper. And the good news, well, there isn't any, because that's not how property tax assessments work. Here's where it gets confusing. Maui property taxes run on a fiscal year, not a calendar year. The tax year runs from July 1 to June 30. So taxes you paid recently apply to July 1, 2025 through June 30, 2026. So far, so good, right? Now here's where the system starts to make people's heads hurt. The county is looking in the rearview mirror. Your property tax assessment is set every January 1st, but the county doesn't look at what the market is doing today. Instead, they look at sales from the prior year. For January 1, 2026 assessment, the county mostly is analyzing sales that happened between July 1, 2024 and June 30, 2025. So think about that for a second. Those sales capture the big price increases in late 2024 and only part of the price decline in 2025, which means the county is typically running about 9 to 18 months behind the real market. That's why your tax value doesn't seem to match what buyers are actually paying today. Another thing that surprises people is how the county actually calculates these values. They're not sending an appraiser out to every condo and house on Maui every year. That would be impossible. Instead, they use something called mass appraisal. Basically, it's a statistical model that looks at recent sales, square footage, location, view, bedroom count, property type, the specific complex. Then the model estimates the value for similar properties. So if several condos in your building sell for around $700K, the county might estimate that other similar units in the building are at roughly the same number. It's efficient, but it's not perfect. And condo valuations are even a little more different. For single-family homes, the county actually separates the value into land value and improvement value. For condos, they kind of do that, but they're really estimating the total unit value based on comparable sales. And they'll look at things like floor level, ocean view versus garden view, square footage, bedroom count. But there's a catch. They usually don't know what the interior conditions are like. So a fully renovated unit and a unit in 1970 original condition might end up with very similar, maybe identical tax assessments. So when owners tell me, Lee, my tax assessment looks way too high, there are usually three reasons. First, the market moved quickly and the county data is lagging. Second, there weren't many recent sales in the complex, and spoiler alert, this one is going to plague us for years, which forces the county to rely on other transactions. And third, they can't see the interior condition, so two very different units might get the same tax value. All right, there is one piece of good news. To be fair, the system usually works in the owner's favor because real estate values historically go up over time. So most of the time, the county is actually undervaluing property compared to the real market. 2025 just happens to be one of those fluky years where the market moved in the wrong direction. So what do you do now? When your assessment shows up in March, like any day now, take a look at the number, then compare it to recent sales in your complex. If the value seems reasonable, great. If it looks too high compared to recent sales, you may want to consider filing an appeal. There is a very limited window to do that after the notices go out. The important thing to remember is this: Maui County is not trying to guess what your property is worth today. They're estimating value based on what the market looked like a year ago. In other words, they're looking in the rearview mirror. If you found this helpful, you might also want to check out the full blog article on our website, alohagroupmaui.com, where I walk you through the entire property tax timeline and how the county calculates values. Later this week, or early next week, I'm going to be releasing another piece explaining how to appeal your Maui property tax assessment step by step. So stay tuned for that. And always, if you have questions about the Maui real estate market, investing in condos, or buying or selling property on Maui, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to talk story. Until next time, this is Lahaina Lee from the greatest island on earth, sending you aloha. Tony Brown produced this podcast. The information provided in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as a recommendation to invest in real estate or any other financial asset. We are not financial planners, certified public accountants, or attorneys. You should consult with a qualified professional before making any financial, legal, or investment decisions. All investments carry risk, and past performance is not indicative of future results.